Hey, and a good morning to you, Bay Area. How are you? My name is Tony Salvador, and this is my attempt at a blog, which I'm going to affectionately call "With All Due Respect," and it's January 1st, 2021. Finally got out of 2020, and I'm just going to babble. And it'll go from there. And I've got to come up with a way for me to feel comfortable about doing this. Part of it is, I guess I should look into the camera, which I will do. But I'm so fascinated with my own face that it's hard to do. Anyway, so this is just ramblings about my life and, things that I want to get off my chest. I'm going to try to not be political or piss off three-quarters of the audience. Not that I expect much of a big audience for this, because this really is self-indulgent. And I'm a probably less, have less technical knowledge than virtually anyone on the planet. My line has been for years, and it seems to be appropriate, is that when it comes to technology, my VCR is still blinking 12. Pause for a laugh line there. But the amazing part about it is that there's probably three-quarters of the people listening to this or seeing it who would say, what the hell is a VCR? Don't even know what the hell that is. But anyway, those of you who know will get it. So anyway, last evening, and this is why I say I don't know where the hell this is going, but I will tell you that last evening we had a magnificent time at my daughter's place in Sacramento. After years of being apart, my beautiful daughter Amy has moved to California and lives in the greater Sacramento area. And rented a magnificent apartment, beautifully put together by her and my lovely wife, Pam. And last evening, Pam and I drove up. Took us about an hour and 25, 30 minutes. Ran into some traffic. No big deal. My son, Nick, joined us, a newly turned 32-year-old young man, and the four of us had a magnificent dinner at my daughter's home, and she was a spectacular hostess. And we watched a large part of, and I know you're going to think it's the New Year's Eve celebration, which we kind of semi-watched. Very disappointing that New York has been shut out of that. And so we bumped around, and one of the great things that we did was we watched That's Entertainment, and told stories about all movies that we loved and whatever, and had a great time. So that was our kind of ringing in the new year. And like a lot of Californians, especially old people like me, that does not include my wife or my daughter or my son, but people like me, we're done at 9 p.m. And so we left we left about 10 o'clock, and it took a very short period of time with no traffic on the road. We got home about an hour and 15 minutes or so. And in typical TS fashion, now my wife is smarter than I am and went to bed. And I was coming down to get ready, and I was going to go at whatever, at noon. I wanted to see what was on in the Bay Area, and Channel 4 showed all of the fireworks, and I watched all of that. And it was spectacular, actually. So, and then I had a pool video that I wanted to watch. There's a young gent someplace in Texas, calls himself Lil Chris, who posted a video of him doing a practice round with a teacher that he went to see in Minnesota. And it was a live stream. I did not watch it live, but I watched it on tape. And I thought, well, you know what? They were playing a series of 10-ball matches, and a race to 9, meaning the first player who gets the 9 wins the match. Anyway, I watched these guys, and I thought, well, I'll watch for, 25, 30 minutes and then go down and go to bed. By that time, it was probably, I don't know, 12:30 or something like that. And that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to watch half hour, whatever. Anyway, bottom line, I got downstairs in bed about 3:30. Not very smart on my part. But I am hooked on pool. It has replaced my hooked on golf passion that I had. And I am now hooked on pool, billiards, pocket billiards, to be more specific. Long story short, I was actually a pretty good young player when I was 14, 15 years old growing up in upstate New York. And like a lot of people my age, life went on. I subsequently went into the service, spent 4 years in the Navy. And my pool passion went away. I didn't really have much chance to play. Although from time to time at port calls, whether it would be in America or in Europe, traveled all over the Mediterranean, there'd be a obscure pool table. And one of my friends or mates would say, well, let's play, and I would play, and I was no good, at that point. But they thought I was just fabulous. I knew I wasn't, and I wasn't very good, but most people can't play pool or have no feel for it, but I was okay. Anyway, whatever, my life went on, and never really thought much about pool. From time to time, in some bar at a quarter, little pool table, what they call bar box, I'd play a game or two, but that was it. And a friend of mine, Timmy Curtis, invited me to his magnificent home in the East Bay, my wife and I, and another couple. And in touring his home, he was showing us his new digs. Beautiful place, magnificent view of the city and all. And he was showing us his place, and we go around the corner, and guess what? He had an 8-foot pool table covered in red felt, beautiful, okay? And I was stunned. I loved seeing it there. And I said, and he said, well, you know what? We'll have dinner and whatever, and we'll play. And I said, geez, that's really great. That's fabulous. Haven't played in years and whatever. Anyway, it's kind of the same story I'm telling you now about when I played against my mates and picked up a pool cue. And just because I know how to handle it and whatever, and I guess I looked the part. That reminds me of the video that's running around the internet now. Some young guy saying, look it, I can't play golf. I'm no good, but I'll show you how to look good playing golf. And that's kind of the same way I was, whatever that was, 3.5 years ago when I was over at Timmy's house. And we get down there, and I played, and, whatever. I was better than the people I was playing, but, still no good in my regard. And I got thinking about it, and I loved the feeling of being back on a table. And this was an 8-foot table, so it was a nice, well put together, and Timmy had great cues and whatever, house cues, and used them, and really just had a lot of fun. Anyway, whatever, make a long story short, I started kind of talking about pool with my wife, and in her ever way to try to kind of keep me pleased, said to me, you know what, why don't we take a look at buying a pool table? And I thought, no, where the hell are we going to put it? I got a nice home and all. Well, as it turns out, we went downstairs. We have a family room downstairs, which was at one time used for the family, had the TV down there and whatever. It's still down there, but we don't really use it all that much. So that room has kind of just sat fallow for a long while. And, we have the TVs now is upstairs or whatever. But anyway, Pam, in her own way, got out the measuring tape and the blue masking tape and masked out a area that indicated that we could put a nice 8-foot pool table downstairs. And off we went, jumped on the internet, found a place in Redwood City, a quick hour and 32-minute drive down to the South Bay. and bought a pool table and put it in. And it's been a passion of mine since the day the workers came and put in the table and put it together for me. It was, I have gone basically nuts, much like I had gone nuts about golf when I took that up some 30 years ago, you know. And at one time I was a decent golfer. I think my lowest handicap was like 12 or 13. And those of you who are golf know that that's not great, but it's, you know, I could play with almost anybody, whatever. Well, through, you know, years gone by and health issues, and I have a terrible scoliosis problem in my back and the whole deal, whatever. Don't cry for me, Argentina. But my golf game, like most guys my age, has gone in the shithouse. So, anyway, and so, you know, with this great passion I had for golf, because I'm a competitive guy, which doesn't really help when you get to be my age and you can't play much anymore. And I mean, not much playing, but actually playing at any decent level. And my days of playing at a decent level are gone. I'm now a 20-plus handicap. Still have a lot of fun with my friends. And I'll get around to you guys, okay? I'm sure you want me to mention their name. Now that I've mentioned Tim's name, you know, you're probably sitting around going, you know, what about me? I'll get to you later, all right? Anyway, whatever, you know, and so I decided, you know what? I love pool. I mean, you know, it was more accommodating. I had the pool table in my house. You can't put a golf club in your house, a golf course. So anyway, I started playing, and then I discovered that lo and behold, on YouTube, where you can find virtually anything in the world that you may be interested in, I found out that there are hundreds of thousands of hours of pool videos showing great players, instructions, whatever. And I delved very deeply into that. And next thing you know, I'm buying my own cue, you know, the kind that's screw together. I'm doing the word, the kind that's screw together or whatever. And I brought a brake cue and a pool glove to stop the friction in my hand and whatever. You know, all the bullshit stuff to make you look good. Didn't make you play any better, but it makes you look good. Anyway, you know, I fell in love with the game all over again because I really loved it when I was young. But I fell in love with the game all over again, and I've been just having a terrific time. Spend hours thinking about the game and practicing and whatever. And like anything in sports, you know, you're hoping, geez, one of these days I'm going to be pretty darn good. And when I started off from where I am today, I'm actually a lot better. And I play a decent game. But I got years to go, which I don't have many left. But I've got years to go to get really good in terms of what I want to be. And in the end, we'll see where it goes. But anyway, I have gone nuts over pool, and that's kind of where my desires are now to be a better pool player and whatever. So anyway, you know what? With all due respect, I don't know how this thing is going to turn out. And quite frankly, I really don't care how many people watch it or want to watch it or, you know, are going to be negative about it, because this is, of course, the internet or whatever this turns out to be. And as a regular reader of Twitter, the most negative, the absolute most negative platform in the history of man. It's just awful. So I realize what I'm getting myself into as we continue on this ridiculous journey here that I'm starting today. And who the hell knows if this thing is even recording. So whatever. Anyway, I've got 1,000 more things that I could talk about, but we will leave it at that. And I'm looking at the clock, and it's 14:58, 59, and 15 minutes. Goodbye.